guys, how are you? What's going on? Welcome to Cereal at Midnight. I'm Heath, and this is Fresh Flavors, Cereal at Midnight's look at all the cool new releases that are hitting shelves and mailboxes right now. Some of this stuff's a couple of weeks old, some of this stuff is a couple of weeks early, so it's kind of a mixed bag. I try to do these once a month, so this is essentially March's Fresh Flavors. And hopefully I'll be showing you some things that you haven't seen before and you don't know anything about. So I'm going to launch things off with a contest announcement. Actually, two contests. The good people over at MVD Entertainment have donated 2 prize packs here. So that's 2 chances to win. We've got Final Justice, Graydon Clark's Texas Justice set in the Mediterranean. It's Joe Don Baker, and he's just like the Southern lawman who goes to... or the Western lawman? What is Texas? It's the West. It's also the South. Anyway, he goes to the Mediterranean to chase this killer. Sweet Graydon Clark's, the guy that did Joysticks. Also, Ghost Riders, the very low budget. It's horror, it's action, and it's a Western. It's kind of equal parts, all those things. I've reviewed both of these at cerealatmidnight.com. Hopefully you're hitting cerealatmidnight.com up every single day, so you don't miss a single review. And the stuff we're about to talk about here, this is not a review video. This is a, hey, this is out video. Reviews will show up as I continue to gesture. I'm fanning. They get hot, I'm fanning them. They'll show up. Reviews for that will show up at cerealatmidnight.com too. Guys, you have 2 chances to win these. We're giving this one away on Instagram, and we're giving this one away on Twitter. Or maybe I'll reverse them, and I'll put this up on Instagram and this up on Twitter. Okay. We do our contest on social media for reasons we've talked about in the past. It's the easiest way to connect directly with you. So follow us on over there, and hopefully the contest will be up by the time you see this episode. All right, we got a lot of ground to cover, so let's just launch right into it. We're starting off with Warner Brothers, so I need to say... I was provided a free copy of the titles we're about to talk about here from Warner Brothers by Warner Brothers Home Entertainment. The opinions expressed are my own. Thank you very much. We're kicking it off with Rick and Morty seasons 1 through 5. First 5 seasons, everything on home media to date in one box. When I reviewed season 5, because we've already talked about that here on the channel, I reviewed season 5 when it came out, and somebody was like, I wish they'd just put them all on a box set. Here you go. This is that box set. It is literally just the same discs that we've already, seasons 1, 2, 3, and 4. It's the same discs, it's the same episodes. There's nothing really new here in terms of on-disc content, but it is all in one place. It does come with a digital copy that redeems in Vudu, and it does also have an exclusive poster. Here, let me show you the front. See how badly this got beat up in the postal, the post office really just hammered the crap out of this. Look at this. Split down the side. How am I supposed to... I'm going to be like, hey, post office, how am I supposed to show this off to the millions and millions, Channel The Rock, to the millions and millions of Cereal at Midnight people out there who are watching this episode if it's all beat to crap and back? Like, guys, work with me. Post office. Do a guy a favor here. What are you trying to do to me here? So here's the unique artwork for this release. Just pretend there's not a massive split down the center. And it comes with an exclusive poster too, which I actually think is really cool. This is one of my favorite things in season 5, and I may frame this. I don't know, but it's show up. Try to get the glare off of it. It's that like anime Rick. It's basically like Vampire Hunter D Rick. I think it's really cool. So it's showing up. Hopefully that is. So that's there's not much else to say there. It's the first 5 seasons and an exclusive poster. I don't think these posters, I did a review for seasons 1 through 4 when that came out too. I don't think that exclusive poster ever showed up anywhere else. I think they do keep these truly exclusive to help sell the units. You know what I'm saying? And here we're going to talk about a show that I've never seen, but that Warner Brothers sent me, so I'm going to tell you guys about it and get your opinion on it. Adventure Time, Distant Lands. This is the 4 specials. Cartoon Network, right? At HBO Max, is that where these came on? Did these come on the streaming? So I have never seen an episode of Adventure Time. I know some of you guys that are younger than me are going to be like, what? Do the YouTube face? What? But I've never seen an episode of Adventure Time. I don't even know where to... I guess I'd start at the beginning. Here's the question for y'all, for all y'all out there who have seen these 4 specials. These are the 4 specials. If you have seen these specials, Are they a good jumping on point? Can I just jump right into these, or do I have to go all the way back to the beginning? Because that sounds like a lot of work, man. I got time for that kind of work. See? So let me know what you think. I don't think there's any special features here. It's just the 4 specials. That's over 3 hours of new adventure time. There's no poster here. There's just a disc with the Eco case. Thoughts on Eco cases? I think we all know what it's a unanimous. I don't know, maybe people really love the Eco cases. But let me know what you guys think about that. Now we're launching into my territory of stuff. Things I can speak about very confidently. We have 3 new releases from Warner Archive this month. This is the March 2022. It's like, is it 2020? No, it's 2022. The March 2022 Warner Archive releases. Yes, Warner Archive is still cooking and burning up the scene and the home media. You know, it's been, hey, they just did a sale. As I'm recording this video, hopefully this goes up in time for you guys to see it. There's a 4 for $49 sale. The 4 for $44 sales that we used to know in the past, over, done, never happening again. That was a thing that was done through the distributor that Warner Archive was using at that time, their storefront. And they are not doing that anymore. So their stuff is through a new company, a new storefront, and 4 for $49 is what we're getting now. Just so you know. But I'm tremendously excited that the original, the first, the best, A Star Is Born is now on Blu-ray in a new 4K restoration. They've gone... So, but someone asked about this on Twitter, and I want to be very clear about this. Kino Lorber actually put this out a decade ago. I think it was in 2012. Not a new scan, but it was nice to have the movie on Blu-ray. Well, now Warner Brothers, Warner Archive, George Feltenstein, and his crack team of preservationists have given this a new 4K restoration. And it's a movie so good, they've made it 3 more times since. Insert Far From the Shallows joke here. This is probably my favorite version because I'm a huge fan of the 30s, as you know from watching the classic film flavors that I do with my pal Vanessa. And it's everything had already been done in the 30s. That's the gist of it, right? Anything that was cool, it had already been done in the 30s, including A Star Is Born. Same premise. You probably know the story. Up and coming star. Alcoholic, self-destructive. It's A Star Is Born. But the nuances in how each version of the story is for a different generation and plays to different trends and tropes and things like that, that's interesting to see. But this is the original. And it does have, I'll just go through these really quick. 2 Lux Radio Theater broadcasts, the Janet Gaynor, Robert Montgomery version from 1937. And then a 1942 version with Judy Garland and Walter Pidgeon. There's a classic WB cartoon, A Star Is Hatched. Classic WB shorts, Mal Hallett and his orchestra, taking I think it's basically an upgrade of the former DVD version. Warner Archive does a really good job of just upgrading what they've already put out. But if the shorts have been restored, you get the new HD version of the shorts and stuff like that. So this is great. Again, not a review show. This is not a review show. So reviews will show up for this in at serialatmidnight.com, and I'm sure I'll probably talk about it in the next Classic Film Flavors. Personally, I'm super excited about Captain of the Clouds. I'm looking at it. I can't quite reach it. I've got a James Cagney box set from Warner Brothers. It's not Warner Archive. It's just Warner Brothers. Captain of the Clouds is in that set. And over time, it's not bit rot. I'm not sure exactly what the issue is, but that disc set, that like all the movies in that set have a hard time being read on my players now. And so I can't watch Captain of the Clouds anymore, but now I can in HD. There's something maybe we can, that's a whole side topic, but like Warner Brothers, the double layer technology, something happened at some point, and some of their releases had a lot of problems. And I had a problem with Dukes of Hazzard, I had a problem with the Wonder Woman TV show, and I had a problem with that box set. Again, it's not bit rot. It's something to do with the encoding. Anyway, now we have it on Blu-ray, and I'm tremendously excited. Another 4K restoration. All these Warner Archive titles are new 4K restorations. Now, they're not on 4K discs. I would love it if Warner Archive got into the 4K disc game so that we weren't getting a fourth of the quality of a 4K restoration, because you got to compress it down to Blu-ray. But that's still so much better than what existed before. So 1942 newsreel, short, Rocky Mountain Big Game, cartoon, What's Cooking Doc, and Hold the Lion Please, and then the trailer. I love me some James Cagney. Hey, he's a captain of the clouds, see? Ooh, yes, that's it. No, that's terrible. That's like, what was that? It was attempting a Cagney without doing You Dirty Rat, and it just came off like this manic, like, is he having a stroke? The last one, I think maybe the one that you guys may be the most excited about, because people have asked me, if I was going to review this, and I am. The Wonderful World of the Brothers Grimm. This is huge, man, literally and like metaphorically. This is 1962, right? I think it's 1962. Cinerama. It's an MGM Cinerama presentation. Now, what's Cinerama? Some of you guys know, some of you don't. Cinerama was, so in the 50s, we get like the CinemaScope, the widescreen, everybody had their own version of the scope thing. The 2:3:5 widescreen aspect ratio. And then Cinerama was like, let's make it even bigger. Let's make it even wider. So you have room, like in their, curved screens. See the Cinerama Dome in Los Angeles, right? And it's like a golf ball. I'm trying to describe, a round, like this, like a curved, rounded screen. And so we have two versions of this movie. We have the main feature, the letterbox version, which is going to be your traditional widescreen image. And then the Cinerama version is presented in Smile Box, which is so wide that it's kind of like a smile. Like, this is what it's, it's adequately named. It's so big that it kind of curves into a smile to fit all of that into a standard TV screen. Because we can't watch these things in rooms, like in rooms with screens that go all the way around. Hey, is that coming? Is that the next technology for home media entertainment? This thing is loaded though. So we got the main feature. So it's a 2-disc affair. Check this out. So there's one of the discs, and behind this is the other disc. I believe this is a recreation of the original 1962 press book, which I've never seen. I can't recall a Warner Archive release having paper goodies, like a booklet. But this is, as far as I can tell, this is a recreation of the original press book. Talking about George Pal. What a hero there. Love George Pal stuff. Finally getting his due as well. Talking about the story. And then we got one more set of pages to turn. What is Cinerama? And then, there's a smile box there. That's what we're dealing with. They recreate the anamorphic curve, right? The smile box. Smile box. And then the poster on the back. Beautiful. That's just the paper goodies. Let's go through this really quickly here. So the letterbox feature, the announcement trailer, letterbox theatrical trailer, a radio interview with Russ Tamblyn. Shout out to the Al Adamson fans out there. Radio interview with Yvette Mimieux. The epic art of the Brothers Grimm, the wonderful career of George Pal. It's a documentary feature. And then disc 2, the Smile Box version, has different extras. So we've got the Cinerama announcement trailer. We've got the Smile Box theatrical trailer. Rescuing a Fantasy Classic documentary. They go on location in Rothenburg, Germany to look at a commemorative plaque. And then a salute to William Foreman. And then a slideshow. So loaded up. So again, this is not a review. This is just talking about what this is. But let's talk about the cast really quick. Lawrence Harvey, Claire Bloom, Carl Boehm, Walter Slezak, Oscar Homolka, Barbara Eden, Yvette Mimieux, Russ Tamblyn, Jim Backus, lovely, Gilligan's Island. He's the voice of Mr. Magoo too, right? All right, let's bail. Okay, so that's Warner Archive. That's the Warner titles. Let's move into something I'm also tremendously excited about, which is the latest. You guys, it's volume 5 of the Little Rascals, the ClassicFlix restoration. So we've covered all 5 of these now. There's one more coming out. The commitment was to bring all 80, I think, all of the Hal Roach talkies, the Little Rascals talkies that span from, I think it's 29 to 38. Doing this from memory, so if always double check me. But and you can double check me at the ClassicFlix.com website. But this is the penultimate volume that introduces Alfalfa. Little Rascals, I mean, I don't know what else to say about them other than they're hilarious. They're not tame. They're not safe. They're not politically correct. Man, you can go to, there's a Wikipedia page with a list of all the Little Rascals serial or shorts, and every one of them, seemingly every one of them, it's like edited for content, edited for time, edited for whatever. They have not survived over the years very well. So thanks, huge thanks, as always, to ClassicFlix, because one, they've restored these. The masters for these were not in good shape prior to this restoration. Now they are like chef's kiss, beautiful. I mean, it's the grain, all the stuff that I love as a cinephile. I'm like, oh, the grain structure. Look at it, it's so beautiful. I just want to touch it. So beautiful. They look great. They look so good. But maybe as important, possibly more important, is that they've been restored to their original true form, their original edits, right? All the stuff that's been cut out over the years, edited down for running time to fit into a particular time slot, edited down for, repackaging, edited out for offensive content by changing political standards. It's all back here. These are restored to how they were presented in theaters in 1936, 1935, and 1936. And I'm telling you guys, every time these come in, I pop them in, and within seconds, I'm laughing out loud. I'm a gregarious guy, I suppose, but I'm also not the kind of guy who's just like, I'm a fairly introverted guy, and I know that doesn't come through in the channel, but I'm a pretty quiet, introverted guy. For me to sit on the couch by myself in a room and start laughing out loud, like, this is a huge compliment, and it's so funny. And so this introduces Alfalfa, and you see this kid, like, I know these kids, right? Like, you know them from pop culture. Like, he's the kid with the cowlick and all that stuff. But then you're watching them, and it's just like, partly because of the restorations. And I talked about this with Vanessa in Classic Film Flavors recently. It's like, because of these restorations, all this time and age is wiped clean from the image. And it's like you're looking through a window back into the past, and there's no distance anymore. It's as close as we are right now. And it's really crazy because you're like, this kid, Carl Switzer, was that his name? I want to double check that, because I'm not a Little Rascal scholar. But I tell you what, watching these, you kind of become one, and the more you watch these. Yeah, it's Carl Switzer. So Alfalfa is just like, he just looks funny. Not like in a mean way, but he's like, his expressions, he's so emotive. It's just so funny. It's so charming. It's magical. It's really good stuff. So anyway, ClassicFlix Restoration Volume 5. Volume 6 is coming in the summer. It's a few months away now, and it is the final volume for the Hal Roach talkies. The goal of restoring those original, again, I think it's 80 shorts, is almost done. And hopefully you guys are showing up to pick these things up and to finance future restorations, because it really does, as I always say, it depends on us. This is fan done, this is not done by a studio, it's not done by a corporation, this is done by ClassicFlix, who really wants to preserve this stuff. So let's support it. Moving on to Mill Creek Entertainment. This is kind of a hard gear shift, but it works, man. We have 2 new Ultraman entries to our shelves. We have Ultraseven X and Superior 8 Ultra Brothers. This is a movie that combines 30 years of Ultramen, Ultra Heroes. And this is a short series. I think this runs about 4.5 hours. Yeah, 4 hours and 49 minutes. So a shorter series. I like these. The Ultraman Orb follow-up series is sort of a micro series. One of my favorite things. I love the modern era of Ultraman when it's playing in that, like, it's almost like a Doctor Who territory where it's kind of serious, but it's still very much sci-fi and very much action. Let me show you the cover art, rear art. And one of the things I love about Mill Creek's Ultraman stuff is that they always give us unique arts on the interior Blu-ray case. I don't know if this is showing up. Yeah, made in Mexico. I don't love that there's a huge stamp that's kind of ruining the artwork there, but that's not Mill Creek's fault. That's the pressing plant's fault. I wish that was like down here, maybe a little smaller, but we still see what they're going for here. So it's a 2-disc set. Beautiful artwork. and the Superior 8, Ultraman Superior 8 Ultra Brothers. It's a mouthful. This is gorgeous. That I could use that on a poster. You know, like, hey Mill Creek, can we get a poster of this? That'd be really cool. Like, look at the way they're all kind of lined up here. That's just the coolest. And then, once again, unique artwork on the interior. And because this is a movie, it's just one disc. But it's very cool that I've said so much about Ultraman over the last couple of years. I really want to continue to praise Mill Creek for the way that they've tackled Ultraman, because not everybody would have done what they've done, which is to get it out the door and in the hands of collectors and people that want to watch this stuff. You know, that other company that just picked up that other Toku license, and they've released one volume, and they say that future volumes will depend on the sales of that one volume. Mill Creek releases usually 2 at a time, and they're doing it like once a month, 2 months on the wide end of things, right? They have put out a couple of dozen plus Ultraman releases in the span of about 2 years, and the commitment to that. I look back and I think that must have been some meeting, right? Like, hey guys, we got the Tsuburaya license for Ultraman. It's 50 years worth of content, and we're going to do our best to get it all out. Like, what an ambitious business model. And here we are a couple of years later, and by golly, they've done it. And we continue to get stuff like this. And the old stuff, they've worked from the old stuff to the newest and kind of worked their way back into the middle. And I am just very grateful for it. And I know a lot of you guys are too. I just think it's the coolest. It's priced right. It's priced to move. I'm fortunate. I feel fortunate. I feel grateful. So thanks to Mill Creek for being committed to this. It means a lot. Let's switch gears. Now we're going to 88 films. This is a couple of the US, UK dual region releases. We have, let me do these in order. We have Monkey Kung Fu. We talked about these before in my 88 films knows Kung Fu video. And Shaolin Mantis. So Monkey Kung Fu and Shaolin Mantis. I'm loving what 88 Films is doing with their Kung Fu license. So I have flipped them around to each one of these has a reversible art wrap. I flipped it around so I have the unique artwork, as I often do. Lots of stuff here, lots of features. We've got the remaster from the 35mm negative, English mono, Cantonese mono with newly translated English subtitles, which is important because some of those older subtitles have not aged well, and they're not particularly accurate. Audio commentary by Kenneth Brorson and Phil Gillen of the Podcast on Fire Network. Stunting Around, an interview with the choreographer Tony Leung Seo Hung. Original trailer, reversible sleeve with brand new artwork by RP Kung Fu Bob O'Brien, and the original Hong Kong poster artwork. So look at that beast. As always, we have the poster, the artwork, and the booklets. These booklets are amazing. I am one of these people that really likes to read. I love on-disc features, but I think I like booklets as much, if not more, because they're usually a lot more informative. Like this text would probably be an hour in talking head form. Possibly. I don't know. But I don't know. I just say it. I love a booklet. How many times have I said that in these videos, you guys? I love a booklet. And I really do. So here is our double-sided poster. Nice stuff. Pretty snazzy. We are living in a renaissance for Kung Fu movies on home media because we get stuff like this. I mean, the Shaw Brothers catalog. This is Shaw Brothers. Shaw Brothers catalog is... that's never gotten this much love. Not even in the DVD days. A lot of this stuff fell through the cracks in the DVD days. And now we're getting it on beautiful restorations, home, stuff like this. Oh, hold on. You know what? If I could turn, to quote Cher, if I could turn back time, I would go live and learn. Um, okay. So this has original 35mm negative restoration, English mono, Cantonese mono. No Cantonese, is Mandarin. I'm all over the place, guys. Hold on. English mono, Mandarin mono, newly translated in English subtitles, audio commentary with Asian cinema experts Mike Leader and Arne Vinema, audio commentary by Asian cinema expert Frank Zhang, Complicated Families, David West on Shaolin Mantis, Uncle Tien Chung, an interview with John Chung, the US trailer, the Hong Kong trailer, and the reversible sleeve. That's a lot of stuff. And this one comes with, in lieu of a booklet, here's our poster, in lieu of a booklet, we have miniature lobby cards. So let's do these real quick. Awesome stuff. And then here is that beautiful poster. Okay. Oh, the things you do for the YouTube machine. I'm determined. I haven't not seen either one of these. I'm really excited about catching up with them. What a weird thing to say, but like, there's too much kung fu. I'm still working my way through the Shaw Brothers box set. 88 Films is putting these. I think these are the 5th and 6th releases of 88 Films, recent kung fu releases just since October, I think it is. So again, really serving the audience in a way that's beautiful, and I love it. Ooh, natural lead into that. I was doing them in a different order. Natural lead into that. Let's switch over to Arrow. Arrow Video has just released the non-limited standard version of the Yokai Monsters, the Yokai Monsters collection, with Herman Monster, and it's the Yokai Monsters collection. Now, there was a limited edition version of this, as Arrow often does with their box sets, with a sturdier, more collectible box, and like the posters and the reversible. Well, this has reversible artwork, so a 60-page booklet. So I didn't get that. I missed that, but I did get the Yokai Monsters, this version, which is the discs are the same, the art is the same, and the movies. The movies are the same as well. So what is this? In the 60s, 1968 into 1969, there were 3 Yokai Monster movies that formed a trilogy. They are 100 Monsters, which if you've seen the movie, there's not actually 100 Monsters, but it's a great name. Disc 2 has Spook Warfare and Along with Ghosts. And they're all sort of a loose trilogy about, the movies take place in the Edo period, which is, we have Ronin, masterless samurai that are kind of wandering around and seeking work and shelter. And as is often the case in so many spaghetti westerns, even horror movies, sometimes the bad guys are like land barons. Like, we're going to tear down your village and put up what's the Edo Japanese version of putting up a mall, right? We're going to put up condominiums where your little house used to be. And so the Yokai Monsters, who are the local spirit protectors, are they ghosts? Are they trolls? It's very complicated. There's actually a feature on here. There's a 41-minute documentary on disc 1 called Hiding in Plain Sight, a documentary giving a primer on yokai for Western audiences, featuring Matt Alt, Zach Davison, Kim Newman, Linda E. Recker, and Hiroko Yoda. And they don't necessarily adequately. It's a hard question to answer. What are yokai? They mean different things. So you got the 3 movies on 2 discs. Here's our one of my favorite release of 2021. Where is it here? Boop, there it is. The Cold War Creatures box set. 3 movies, 2 Blu-rays, and then years and years later, the great, I'm going to say that, the ambitious Takashi Miike gave the yokai trilogy sort of a reintroduction, sort of a rebirth, like they did with Gamera, like they did with Godzilla. These things that have this very locked off. You know, oh, that's from the 60s, that's from the 70s. And they're like, not anymore. Now it's for today, too. Give it an updating with the Great Yokai War. And that's here as well with a ton. See, there's not really any special features for these outside of the trailers and the restorations and then that documentary. But this is stacked and loaded. I'm just going to hold this up and you can read all that yourselves. As always, full review for this coming to serialatmidnight.com. I've already probably talked too much about this, but there's so much to discuss. So I've watched the first movie here and I enjoyed it. They're short. The first 3 are like 79 minutes. But we have this beautiful yokai box set collecting. Is it Daiei? I think that's the name of the company that also Gamera, right? Anyway, Yokai Monsters available now. So, also available now is Era Video's presentation of Deadly Games, a movie I had not seen, but that Amanda Reyes, the writer, the author, the film expert, the horror hound, Amanda Reyes, who we got to sit down and talk to recently. We all did, you and I as well. Was telling me that she'd done the essay for this, and I was like, oh, that sounds great. So finally, here it is. I have it on hand. It is a low budget horror movie. It's not regional. I don't want to say it's regional because it was shot in California, but it's supposed to be set sort of Midwest. The term I'm seeing a lot, and I use it as well in my review at serialatmidnight.com, cling, is Midwestern Gothic, and that is fairly accurate. The idea of suburban ennui, right? Like I say in my review, I say it's like where the counselors in Friday the 13th might have ended up had they lived, had Jason not killed them. You know, you get past your teens and your 20s and you're like, I'm 30 years old. I'm married to somebody that I'm not crazy about. Every day feels like Tuesday. I'm getting drunk every day at 5 o'clock just to cope. Suburban Gothic, Midwest Gothic. So it's a great presentation. It's been restored and it looks beautiful. It's got a lot of cool features here. We've got the essay here. This booklet does have Amanda Reyes's excellent. I mean, that's redundant. Amanda Reyes and excellent. Those are two words that mean the same thing. But excellently written essay. The games people play, exploring the Midwestern Gothic in Deadly Games. And then make sure I can show you guys all of this. If you love horror and you haven't seen this, give it a shot. It's a really interesting movie that is more ambitious. Like it looks like it's a slasher, and I think it's being marketed as a slasher because that's probably the easiest thing to do. But it's aiming for more than that, and I don't think it hits all of it, but it sure tries, and I think that's pretty great. So, 2K restoration from the original camera negative, brand new audio commentary with The Hysteria Continues. There's a brand new interview with Jerry Ray Mansfield, who she's in the movie, met the director filming this movie, then married the director. They started a video company. So all that's covered in this interview with her. It's pretty great. And then Practical Magic, a brand new interview with the special effects and stunt coordinator John Eggett, which is cool. He tells some behind the scenes stories, and he also tells how certain practical effects are achieved, which I was interested in. Image gallery, original trailer, the original Who Fell Asleep screenplay. It was originally conceived under the title Who Fell Asleep. And that is on the Blu-ray, the BD-ROM content. And then the reversible sleeve, which you guys see it right there. So great release from Arrow. And then here's another thing from Arrow that I don't even know where to start, and maybe you guys can help me. So this is Lies and Deceit, 5 films by Claude Chabrol. So these are French films. I've never seen any of these films, but this is why I said at the end of 2021, into 2022, you know, my video, I do an end of the year video. Like, here's what's coming. Here's where we are now. Kind of a state of physical media video at the beginning of every year. At the beginning of 2021, I was like, it's not looking good, you guys. It's not looking good. I was worried for a lot of very understandable reasons. 2022, when 2021 became 2022, I was like, everything I was worried about a year ago, I don't worry about anymore. We're in such good shape. We got so many cool things, and the sky is the limit. Anything can happen in 2022. And part of that is stuff like this. Box sets from Arrow for French directors, French New Wave stuff. So I don't... The sneaky anarchist of the French New Wave. He embraced He embraced genre as a means of lifting the lid on human nature. Nothing is sacred, nothing is certain in the films of Claude Chabrol. Anything can be corrupted, and usually will be. So the movies here are... Oh, geez. They're in French. Well, some of these are in French. Cop à vin. Doing my best. Canadians are still... French people never give me crap, but Canadians usually do. Cop à vin. Inspector Lavardin. Madame Bovary, Betty, and Torment. Parentheses, Les Enforceurs. No, Les Enfers. I read it too quickly. That's what I get for trying, right? Why do I try? Why do I try? Here are the films. I'll let you read them. Is that the right way up? Yes. I'll let you read them for yourselves. I'm about to show you guys the beautiful artwork. First of all, hard. This is what I'm talking about with these limited edition boxes. Like, you could probably... Don't try this, but you could probably, like, jack up your car and put one of these under there to hold it up. So if you want to change the tire. Don't really do that. I'm exaggerating, but they're very sturdy. We have, first of all, this beautiful book. It's not a booklet. That's just a book. Look at all that text. Hey, you know who loves a booklet? You do. You know who, because moving swiftly forward from that image that I hope, okay. I love a booklet. That's who loves a booklet. So this is how many pages is this? This is 70, this is 80 page, an 80 page booklet on these films. And here are, start at the beginning here. You pronounce it yourself. Pop this off so you can see what's underneath. And I'll also hold this up for you for just a second. If you want to freeze frame that, go for it. What if this is just how I did my videos from now on? It's just like... One more. No, two more. Sorry, two more. This is the most French image I've ever seen. Is it not the most French thing? I assume she's looking out a window. Probably looking out a window. And then the last is Torment. One of the great things about Serial at Midnight is that we can celebrate the high and the low. You know, we're not snobs here, but we're also not stuffy and uppity. We can talk about Rick and Morty and Adventure Time, and we can also talk about French New Wave. And the thing is, like, you guys are out there. We have people that work in the industry. We have huge cinephiles. We have film experts that watch these. So here's the call for those that know these movies. What do you think about them? And I mean, I will start them chronologically in the order that they're presented here. But how do you rank them? How do you rate them? What do you think about them? And here's the great thing, right? And at this moment, I know nothing about Claude Chabrol. Probably pronouncing it wrong. And nothing about these movies. Now, I do know some French cinema, but 60s, 50s into the 60s is kind of where I'm at with French, even in Italian stuff too. Part of that's because of my preferences and my tendencies, but also that's also like the revolution, the cinema revolution. So this stuff kind of falls through the cracks for me. But on the other side of this box set, when I've watched these movies and I've read the booklet, guess what? I'm going to know a lot about Claude Chabrol. So that's exciting for me. That's the movie dad moment coming. That's why we do this. That's why we collect these things and we don't just stream them on some platform, because the educational opportunity for something like this is off the charts. And that's what separates the casual. A lot of people, oh, cut it all out, Heath. A lot of people like, oh, there's 5 new streaming series that debuted this weekend. I'll just watch those over the weekend. But we're not like that. We're like, I want to dig into this other thing and really analyze it and listen to the commentaries and watch the behind the scenes featurettes. I'm more interested in learning than just killing time. Just because something's new and has debuted does not mean that it's using my time well. And so stuff like this it's bringing film school to everybody that wants to participate in it. And I can't recall so much of cinema ever being so available to us as it is right now. The Laserdisc days, that was kind of what that was what was happening, and you'd get, like letters and, recreations of like, here's what this means, and the audio commentary idea. But that has evolved over the last 30 years. And now we're here with a French box set or whatever. And it's not disposable. It's everything. It's everything. Guys, thank you so much. This is a great place to plug Patreon. Guys, we're Patreon supported. Serial at Midnight. Patreon.com/Serial at Midnight. We are moving into MVD stuff. Again, thanks to MVD for the contest prizes. And some of this stuff I just don't know anything about, so we'll see how this goes. So Where Are You, Jay Bennett is something I don't know anything about. Jay Bennett was in Wilco, which is a band that always kind of intimidated me, to be perfectly honest with you. I've heard some of their stuff, but it felt impossible to break into that when they were really bursting onto the scene. And so I don't know enough about it as I should. But this is an opportunity for me to learn. So this is a documentary about Jay Bennett, who was in Wilco and I gather he was fired from Wilco and then kind of had a solo thing, and he has passed away now. He passed away at 45. So this documentary is out to tell the story, and as I understand it, it's got a lot of great music. I think there's even a vinyl version of this, like a vinyl soundtrack accompaniment to this package. Extras include a Ken Coomer interview, Billy Bragg interview, Jay's mom remembers, deleted scenes, ketchup, and more ketchup, Q&A with the directors, the world premiere tribute concert, and more. So if you are, by the way, it's DVD and Blu-ray, so you're covered there. What do you guys think about this? Who's into Wilco, and what do you think about it? Another one, this is also just like, I'm like, wow, Brian Loves You. So Brian Loves You is a 2008, I think it's 2008. Yeah. It's ostensibly a shot-on-video horror movie about a small-town cult, but it's got a lot of horror names. Tony Todd, Candyman, is in this. Tiffany Shepis is in this. Daniel Roebuck, who, see him Matlock back in the day? Anyway, a lot of people know Daniel Roebuck. He's a recognizable guy, too. And George Wendt from Cheers is in this as well. And it's this interesting, again, not a review. I'm really struggling. Like, this is going to be a 4-hour video because I just can't shut up when I talk about these movies. But it's an interesting thing because it is a found footage movie with a lot of... So it's instantly inviting you in and being like, this isn't real. We're pretending, but come pretend with us. So it's a 2008 movie. And now it's being given this beautiful Blu-ray presentation. So check out all these extras. A new 2022 audio commentary with writer, producer, director Seth Landau. 2008 commentary with Seth Landau and the cast and crew, along with Joe Blow, writer, critic James Oster, Alyssa Dowling, and professor / religious expert Dr. Philip Baker. There's a new 45-minute interview with George Wendt about the making of this movie. So he came in and sat down again to talk about this thing he did in 2008. There's a new interview with Tiffany Shepis that runs even longer. It's 50 minutes long, 50, not the police, 50, 50. And a new interview with star Daniel Roebuck that runs even longer at an hour. So that is, almost 3 hours worth of interviews right there. Hold up. There's more. And then a new 31 minute and 46 seconds interview with star Brink Stevens, who I have had the pleasure to interview and talk to, and she is just a sweetheart. And when Brink Stevens talks, I mean, you better listen. She is the best. I think a lot of you guys know that. She is just the best. And then, so yeah, over 3 hours worth of interviews right there. And then you got the new audio commentary, new 2022 theatrical trailer. As I was saying just a second ago, this is the age of wonders that we're living in, where this movie, which was it was controversial. I think it fell below the radar, and I think it was easily dismissed because of the duality, the found footage with stars. I think it was kind of dismissed at the time because of that. And now here we are reassessing and getting the story from the people that were there. I also want to tell you guys that there is a contest right now. Here's another contest and another reason to be on social media. Not to talk about politics or everything you hate, but so you can win stuff. So MVD, in association with the director Seth Landau, they're giving away a screen-used mask from Brian Loves You. So if you want to win that, head over to check it out on Twitter. And follow those guys on social media so you don't miss announcements for things like that, because that's actually really cool. Here's another thing also from MVD Visual that I just don't know anything about, but it definitely seems up my alley. This is 23rd Century Giants, the story of Renaldo and the Loaf. Some of you guys who are older than me and who, by the way, if you're older than me, do you watch Adventure Time? Did you catch that when it was happening? Some of you guys that are older than me and super into the underground scene, what do you think about this? This really looks, for me, it looks like it's my kind of thing. Super weird. An architect and a biomedical scientist walk into a pub and walk out with the strangest songs you've heard in your life. Mild-mannered Brits Brian Poole and David Jansen, aka Renaldo and the Loaf, experimented with tape loops, household objects, and repurposed musical instruments alike to create a wholly unique electronic experience. So it is their story and the story of their record company. And the Blu-ray special features have over 50 minutes. That's 50, again, not the police, but 50 minutes of bonus material, including a 25 minutes extended interview, deleted scenes, 1981 Ralph Records Songs for Swingin' Larvae promotional film, re-edited in HD from the original 16mm. Can you imagine? It's crazy. Renaldo and the Loaf's Backwards Film Study #1, 8mm film, and then music videos for 2 songs. So this is just the strangest thing. And this has, check this out too. So it's got like this other, is this French? 23rd Century Giants, Renaldo. Oh no, it's not. It's backwards. Check it out. You hold it up to a mirror. It's a mirror image. Is this French? What the world, Heath? Is this French? Not to tuer de dîner? Oui, oui. No. What other French do I know that I can use on you guys? Zutelo! Yes. Everything that has ever appeared on SpongeBob SquarePants. That's my 3 hours later. Okay. That's going to wrap it up for that. We got a couple more releases. We're moving into some deep indie stuff that is very cool. Let's start here with Film Movement's new DVD of Servants, which I have not seen. It's a film by Igor Ostrakovsky? Ivan Ostrakovsky. We're going on an hour here, guys. That's why I'm wearing out here. This is a critic's pick from the New York Times. I gather it's Czechoslovakian. So again, we have a lot of people. We have the high and the low that all congregate here. This is the watering hole, the Crossroads watering hole, where all the SpongeBob fans and the high art cinema fans, they all converge here. We love it all. But I don't know this movie. It's in Slovak with English subtitles. And it also has a bonus short film, A Good Story. I always like that Film Movement includes short films. Like back in the day, you know this, I don't have to say, but back in the day, you go to the movies, you get a short subject, you get trailers, you get, different things. I like the idea of including short films. Because where else would you see a short film? YouTube, I guess, but if it's got anything that YouTube doesn't like, that Google doesn't like, then it's not going to be there. So they put them here, and we get to see them. And they're artistic. They're independent creations. From Corinth Films, I'm going to end here. You know what? I'm not quite done. Corinth Films has just launched a line of drive-in retro classics. And you know, when I heard about this, my heart was like, ah, my heart sang. So I'm so excited about this because it's 3 movies. This particular volume is 3 movies: Rocket Ship XM, The Hideous Sun Demon, and The Brain from Planet Eros. All 3 come from the Wade Williams collection. So these are the official licensed prints from Wade Williams' collection. And who's also, sidebar, Wade Williams is working with the Film Detective for a lot of those Blu-ray restorations. So these are standard definition, but they're not public domain copies. They're not battered. They look good. These are the licensed prints from the archive of Wade Williams. Savvy? So no special features here, but it's 3 movies, uncut as intended in their original aspect ratio. Nobody's talking over them. No, there's not. That could be. I meant to say, like, it's not a Mystery Science Theater 3000 thing, which I think my thoughts on that are clear. Like, it's okay. But I'd rather just watch the movies without somebody talking over them. But there's no audio commentaries or anything like that either. So here are the 3 films. Here's the back of the package. I'm super excited about this, and I hope that this is a sign of more things to come when everything is getting some sort of a reassessment or a new release. It is getting harder and harder for certain movies to have disappeared. They got some Russ Meyer movies that we still need some attention on, and we got some Ed Wood movies that still really need attention. But the idea of, like, these movies aren't really available anymore, it's getting harder and harder to say that. And I think that's awesome. So those are all the movies that I'm going to talk about, but I also want to tell you guys about something else. You know, I love to cover, there's hairs. There's hairs under here, so I gotta blow off the hairs. That's what she said. This is the new Lux and Ivy collection from Cherry Red Records out of the UK. There's still a hair in there. It's a cat hair. Fool's Gold. Lux and Ivy dig those novelty tunes, 25 tunes to scare the kids. This is like my favorite current thing in audio format. I love this collection. I always love Lux and Ivy stuff because it digs deep, and it's like it's not commercial at all, but this is even more near and dear to my heart. It's 25 novelty tunes, and they really they range the spectrum from, like, the usual suspects. So, like, on one end of the really commercial stuff, we've got The Purple People Eater by Sheb Woolley. Is this the place for me to talk about the Wilhelm Scream? I don't know when I'll be talking about the Wilhelm Scream again. Sheb Woolley, an actor, was on Rawhide, and he's in a 1951 Western called Distant Drums. I say it's a Western. It's shot in Florida. It takes place in Florida. And there's a scene where a guy's, like, jumping across alligators. And it's like a real thing. He's, like, running on the backs of alligators. And he falls and he goes, ah! The Wilhelm Scream. And it's allegedly, we'll never know 100% for sure, but allegedly it's Sheb Woolley doing the scream that, of course, like, Lucasfilm put it in all those movies. It's in Star Wars, Raiders of the Lost Ark, all these movies. The Wilhelm Scream. It's everywhere. And it's Sheb Woolley, the guy from the Purple People Eater song. So that's here. And then there's just so many weird things. Spike Jones, Pimples and Braces. The legendary Stardust Cowboy, Paralyzed. You know what? When you're done with this video, here's what you do. Write these down. When you're done with this video, go watch these on YouTube, and then go order this, because you're going to want it. If you like this channel and you watch this stuff, you're going to want it, because it's going to be like, this is so weird. That's what we celebrate here, right? So, what are some of the other really crazy ones? Tony Borello, There's a New Sound, parentheses, The Sound of Worms, which is a weird one. The Blob is here. That's another usual suspect. Beware of the Blob. Fungus Among Us by Hugh Barrett and the Victors. We got a couple of Dickie Doo and the Don'ts. 2 songs by Dickie Doo and the Don'ts. What are the ones? Oh my gosh, you guys, this is something I never heard before. So Jim Backus, who we were talking about earlier, Lover from Gilligan's Mr. Howell III, Thurston Howell III from Gilligan's Island, which is just the tip of his career. That's, if you want to go down a Jim Backus rabbit hole, stay tuned for the Jim Backus episode of Serial at Midnight. But he has a song here called Delicious, and it's like an audio play, and he's like taking a lady to drink, and he's like, how do you like the champagne? And she's like, delicious. It's like so sexy and kind of dirty. I'm like, what is happening here? Let's see, Wombat Twist by Glenn and Christy. That one impressed me. Smooching in the Sewer with Louie, the Impalas. What? What else there were a couple that I really wanted to talk to you guys about, because I'm like, this is just the craziest thing. Dickie Doo and the Don'ts doing Nina Nana Nunu. Nini Nana Nunu. Blah. That's the one. Sydney and the Chimps. Blah. It's like blah. And that's like, it's like Tequila, where every now and then like. By the way, Tequila seems to be riffing on the Spike Jones Pimples and Braces. It's basically the same riff, but instead of tequila, you know, it's like blah. What? So here is the art for blah. Look at this. This is a chimpanzee, and look at this. There's a new sound. This is the Tony Borello song, "Horrible Records." If it's really horrible. If it's a really horrible record, it's bound to be a hit. Or if it's really a horrible record, it's bound to be a hit. Like, what? So, I knew some of these, and a lot of these have been discoveries for me. By the way, I always love the art, the covers on these things, the coolest stuff. So, that's a good place to end this episode. But there's a new Lux and Ivy disc in town. This is always, as always, the Lux and Ivy collections are curated by Dave Henderson from Mojo Magazine. The Lux and Ivy branding is kind of just an homage, because Lux had a radio show, right? He would guide you through his influences and all the rare 45. That's what they're known for, right? The Cramps, they were known for their deep cuts and for their weird influences and stuff like that. And it's carrying on in the spirit of that. And there are a few dozen of these, and they're all gems, but this is one of my favorites. So Fool's Gold is out now. Guys, thank you so much. Fresh Flavors, this is a big one. This is a big honking video. So much to talk about. So let's talk about it. Continue the conversation in the comments below. I appreciate you so very much. I appreciate you for being here. Again, if you like what you see, please remember that we are completely viewer supported. So head over to Serial at Midnight, patreon.com/Serial at Midnight to find out how you can help us out. How do we make the magic happen? And keep your eyes peeled to serialatmidnight.com so you never miss a review. I post stuff usually every single day, sometimes multiple times a day. There's a lot happening, and there's a lot to talk about. So let's do it. Let's talk about it. Guys, thanks so much. Take care. Until next time, I will catch you later.